Alrighty, y'all. I am super stoked to learn about this. This has been requested literally, I think, 1,000,000 times on comments, on Discord, all over Discord, on email, like everything. This is a hypercar. You know, one of the best, fastest cars money can buy that somehow is street legal. And the bizarre thing is, it's not an Italian hypercar. It's not an American hypercar. It's not a German hypercar. This is a Czech car, a total monstrous speed machine from the Czech Republic. Now, I didn't know about this car at all, and I certainly wouldn't have guessed on my first guess that it was from the Czech Republic. I think that is super freaking cool, and I think we should dive right into this. This is the Praga Bohema. Okay, so first up, let me just learn about this thing real quick. Look at the pictures of this thing. 2023 Praga Bohema is a track-ready, road-legal 700 horsepower hypercar. How is this road legal? This thing looks like it's from, like one of those prototype classes. Like, this looks like a legitimate race car. It doesn't even look like a supercar. Like, oh, it's street legal. You can tell it's a street car, but it's just really exotic. No, this is literally looks beyond exotic. This looks like a track monster. I can't even believe looking at something like this that is street legal. It's one of those cars that has an impact on you like that. Look at the pictures of this thing. I mean, absolutely beautiful. If we go full screen here, it looks sinister as hell, man. I mean, this thing means business. I can't wait to see the specs on it, see a little bit of it in action, of course. Of course, would like to hear it as well. Yeah, this car is spectacular. So first impressions is, holy smokes, I didn't know such a car existed. And look at that. To the Czech Republic. Seriously, bravo. This is a beautiful machine. And if we look at the wiki on it for some quick info, what's interesting is it has, of course, it's their own chassis and everything from the ground up. The only thing it would, I guess you could argue, borrow would be it has a base engine of a Nissan GTR, the VR38D TT, right? Now, this has been heavily modified, though, from what I understand. The wet sump oil system replaced with the dry sump. Turbochargers have been replaced. Power has been upped, of course. Titanium exhaust. I mean, it's definitely quite modified. So it's still its own unique car. It's not like a slap together kit car or something. It has a 6-speed Hewland sequential manual transmission. I mean, geez. Race car parts, guys. I mean, geez, right? You can actually run track-only Michelin slicks, which are interchangeable with the same size of the wheel that comes on there. I mean, this thing is definitely designed with the track in mind. I imagine this thing is got to be one of the fastest cars you can buy at some tracks, right? This got to be competing for some sort of records, I would imagine. And this thing is so aggressively designed that, kind of like a Formula One car, not many or maybe any street cars could claim this. This car has enough downforce estimated that it could theoretically drive upside down at around 160 miles per hour or 250 kilometers per hour because this thing generates 900 kilograms or just shy of 2,000 pounds of downforce at that speed. That is absolutely insane. And keep in mind, this car is very, very light, 2,100 pounds. That is insane. It's under 1,000 kilograms. Over 700 torque. 700 horsepower, 3.5 seconds, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. I mean, this thing's ridiculous. Top speed, 190. And that's interesting. That's kind of the sweet spot. Notice it doesn't have a top speed of 200 or over. I mean, to be frank, you probably don't need that in 99% of scenarios. And that's probably because it has so much downforce, right? All that aero and heavy stuck to the ground downforce is great for a lot of other things that are probably more important, like getting grip and turning fast. And then some other things to note. It was introduced in November of 2022, so this is pretty new. I did not even know that. The production will begin in the second half of 23. First 10 cars will be made. In the same year, the Czech brand will open its new representative office in England, where customers will have the opportunity to specify the car. In the next 4 to 5 years, around 20 cars will be produced by each time. Production will be limited to 89 units. And because that's celebrating Praga's 89th anniversary since Praga's victory at the 1,000 miles of Czechoslovakia in 1933. So that sounds interesting in itself. I actually don't know anything about this brand. I guess they make some other stuff as well. So that will definitely be of interest to me in the very near future. This is also assembled in Slovakia, so that's pretty cool. And of course, we'll look at a couple clips from a few different videos. They will all be linked down below. Make sure to check out the original whole videos and, of course, browser channels. Here we go.
Hard, isn't it? So what we'll do...
So look at this thing inside. I mean, this thing means business, man. You can tell, right? This is not like a big land yacht where it's all big bench seats and you sit back and relax. This thing, you strap in, you have the over-the-shoulder harness going on. That's how you know, oh, this car really means business when you're putting on a seatbelt like that.
Okay, so ignition.
Start.
Wow, the starter's up on the roof.
Okay,
that
so
is interesting.
Start, stop.
Yeah, so we're about to come up to the official start line for the
Yeah.
time.
I mean, look at carbon fiber seats. I mean, everything on here is lightweight, expensive,
Right.
and serves a purpose. This thing is literally a track car. I can't believe it's street legal. It's so cool. Wow.
I cannot believe how you're throwing it into these corners and it's just not budging. I am getting a facelift.
You can tell that's accelerating fast and on camera. Camera makes everything look less significant, makes everything look slower. You can tell it's fast. It still looks fast on camera.
Sweat on.
And let me say, the sound. Yeah, it's not some slapped together kit car. That sound, you would never even guess without reading that came from a Nissan GTR originally. Now, those sound good in their own right, but they sound way different. This doesn't scream and kind of yelp like some cars do. It's a real deep kind of grunt, like a rumble sound. It sounds really good. Way different than a GTR. Of course, they did modify it a lot. It's in a whole different package, and that titanium exhaust, wow, that does the job. This sounds really freaking good. I love this kind of air dam here, like you could see the wheel through there. I mean, this thing's got some sharp cuts, sharp edges. This thing is really cool. Look at this. Look at this interior. This is a full-on race car. Look at this display and the shape of the wheel. Obviously not a, daily commute, daily driver type of car.
I'm still completely bewildered how this can be a road car.
Yeah, it just screams race car. That's why this is definitely, I guess, considered a hypercar, not even a supercar. You could consider maybe, a Porsche 911, top of the line, GT3 or whatever, like a supercar, but it's arguably sort of daily driverable. This is a track monster. It's so weird seeing that car so exotic like that, beyond exotic, and having the CZ EU plate, the Czech plate. I think that's so cool. Like you can plate it and drive it anywhere you want.
Look how light the steering is.
I mean, it's like just silk. God, I cannot get over
Damn, that's a
how
handsome
light the
car.
steering is.
Very light, isn't it?
Yeah.
And just shift up to 4.
Dude, that's so funny that she is bigger than him, right? He must be very young, I'm going to assume. Obviously, I don't know it for sure, but I'm assuming he's very young. That sound is
Amazing.
excellent. And then here's some onboard of the same car. This one looks to be orange, maybe. This might be like a helmet cam, I suppose. Oh my God, man. Yeah, the sound is just great. Shifting is lightning quick. I don't know what track we're at, but that was a sharp hairpin there. Whoa, going over the curbs. Dude, this car is so sick. A Czech hypercar. What? This has been so highly requested. I just like, I never knew such a thing existed. What a wild vehicle. And what a surprise. Like a nice surprise, right? It's so cool to see something like this. Something done so well and so different than the average, you know, not to downplay these brands, but they're so good at what they do. They almost become common, right? Like it's nice seeing this versus like the run-of-the-mill Ferrari or, you know, dare I say even like a Porsche track car, right? Those are amazing vehicles. I'm not cutting those down at all. But they're so sought after and so amazing, right? That they've become more common. They're covered by everyone. You know, a lot more people. You see a lot of Porsches, you know, here and there. You do see Ferraris. Not every day, but like if you go to a big city in the U.S., you'll see Ferraris, you know, like wouldn't call them common, but they've become so famous and so good at supercars and all these things that when you have something like this that's just unexpected, I don't know, this has a little bit of that extra surprise factor and mystery factor because, you know, this is more unique and more rare than a Ferrari, I guess. So I hope that doesn't like sound wrong, but yeah, this is really a cool vehicle. It looks so fast, dude. The fact this is a turnkey car you can buy and register and put a freaking license plate on it. Speaking of Ferrari, it's blowing by that one. I mean, this is a monster, dude. Look, I love how you can see the wheel. You can actually see the front left wheel up there. That is so wild, man. It's got the shift lights, everything, dude. I like the high-mounted mirrors, too. It's really clever. The visibility actually looks like it's spectacular. My God, that has some speed. Woo! Look at that. Just a beautiful car, man. Oh my God, you hear those shifts? I love how hard they shift. Right? Like it's so satisfying. Damn, that thing is insane. How many people freaking see this car and have no idea what it is, right? And they have no idea that it's a Praga, right? They might not even know that brand. And for sure, they might not know that this is a Czech supercar. Or should I say hypercar? It's just something else. Every angle on this thing looks good, man. It looks right at home at the track, too. Wow. I'm wondering if this is part of the team, maybe, that, you know, makes this car come together. If it is, I mean, wow. Thumbs up to you guys. This is such a freaking cool vehicle, dude. So that's going to be a quick look at this Praga Bohema. This thing is absolutely beautiful and mean looking. And you can just tell it means business. Every square inch of this car is crazy. You'll definitely have to tell me in the comments anything you want to share that we didn't cover here. Most of all, have you gotten to see this thing in person? I imagine this thing is drop dead gorgeous in person. It's just spectacular. And the Czech Republic has been one of the biggest surprises on this channel because before I did any of these videos, I did not know anything about any vehicle from the Czech Republic. You know, over here in American bubble, right? I would only, of course, hear of like some British cars, you know, like Aston Martin or Jaguar or whatever. Of course, you know, German cars like, you know, Mercedes, Audi, BMW, that type of thing, right? But I never heard of like Škodas and Tatras and all these interesting Czech vehicles that I've gotten to explore and I'm still learning about because those brands are very big. There's a big history, lots of different vehicles. And then you have this, which I, of course, totally have never heard of. Like, this was never on my radar, didn't know anything about this. And I just think it's so cool. So I wonder if anyone in the U.S. is going to buy this. My chances of seeing this thing in person are pretty slim to none, but you never know. Like I said, if you get to see one, definitely let me know how it is. I mean, this thing is super cool. What an awesome surprise to learn about, and like I said on this channel, like learning about Czech vehicles has been so fascinating. I really appreciate you watching and being here. I hope to see you maybe in the next one as well. That's all I got for you in this one. My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker. Until next time, y'all. Catch you later.